Deuteronomy, symbol 4, 138, chapter 2, verse 36. From Aroer, which is by the brink of the river of Arnon, and from the city that is by the river, even unto Gilead, there was not one city too strong for us. The Lord our God delivered all unto us. Verse 35. Only the cattle we took for a prey unto ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we took. Verse 26. And I sent messengers out of the wilderness of Kedemoth unto Sihon, king of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying, Verse 27. Let me pass through thy land, and I will go along by the highway. I will neither turn unto the right hand, nor to the left. Verse 17. That the Lord spake unto me, saying, Verse 18. Thou art to pass over through Ar, the coast of Moab, this day. Verse 8. And when we passed by from our brethren the children of Esau, which dwell in Seir, from the way of the plain, from Elath, and from Ezion-Geber, we turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. Verse 9. And the Lord said unto me, Distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. Verse 30. But Sihon, king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by him, for the Lord thy God hardened his spirit, and made his heart obstinate, and he might deliver him into thy hand, as it appeareth this day. Verse 31. And the Lord said unto me, Behold, I have begun to give Sihon and his land before thee, began to possess, that thou mayest inherit his land. Verse 32. Then Sihon came out against us, he and all his people, to fight at Jahaz. Verse 33. And the Lord our God delivered him before us, and we smote him and his sons and all his people. Verse 34. And we took all his cities at that time, and utterly destroyed the men and the women and the little ones, and every city we left none to remain. Verse 21. A people great and many and tall as the Anakims, but the Lord destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them, and dwelt in their stead. Verse 22. As he did to the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Orims from before them, and they succeeded them, and dwelt in their stead even unto this day. Verse 23. And the Evims, which dwelt in Hazerim, even unto Hazah, the Kephtorims, which came forth out of Kephtor, destroyed them, and dwelt in their stead. Verse 24. Rise ye up, take your journey, and pass over the river Arnon. Behold, I have given into thine hand Sihon the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it, and contend with him in battle. Verse 25. This day will I begin to put the dread of thee, and the fear of thee upon the nations that are under the whole heaven, who shall hear report of thee, and shall tremble, and be in anguish because of thee. Verse 12. The Horites also dwelt in Seir before time, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their stead, as Israel did into the land of his possession, which the Lord gave unto them. Verse 13. Now rise up, said I, and get you over the brook Zered. And we went over the brook Zered. Verse 14. And the space in which we came from Kadesh Barnea, until we were come over the brook Zered, was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of war was wasted out from among the host, as the Lord sware unto them. Verse 15. For indeed the hand of the Lord was against them, to destroy them from among the host, until they were consumed. Verse 16. So it came to pass, when all the men of war were consumed and dead from among the people. Ye have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, Verse 4. And command thou the people, saying, Ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau, which dwell in Seir, and they shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves therefore. Verse 5. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land, no, not so much as a foot breadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. Verse 6. Ye shall buy meat of them for money, that ye may eat, and ye shall also buy water of them for money, that ye may drink. Verse 7. For the Lord thy God hath blessed thee in all the works of thy hand. He knoweth thy walking through this great wilderness. These 40 years the Lord thy God hath been with thee. Thou hast lacked nothing. Verse 37. Only unto the land of the children of Ammon thou camest not, nor unto any place of the river Jabbok, nor unto the cities in the mountains, nor unto whatsoever the Lord our God forbade us. Verse 28. Thou shalt sell me meat for money, that I may eat, and give me water for money, that I may drink. Only I will pass through on my feet. Verse 29. As the children of Esau which dwell in Seir, and the Moabites which dwell in Ar, did unto me, until I shall pass over Jordan into the land which the Lord our God giveth us. Verse 19. And when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not, nor meddle with them, for I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon any possession, because I have given it unto the children of Lot for a possession. Verse 20. That also was accounted to a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time, and the Ammonites called them Zamzummims. Verse 10. The Emims dwelt therein in times past, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims. Verse 11. Which also were accounted giants as the Anakims, but the Moabites called them Emims. Verse 1. Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Lord spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. Verse 2. And the Lord spake unto me, saying, Deuteronomy, symbol 4, 138, chapter 5, verse 33. Ye shall walk in all the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess. Verse 26. For who is there of all flesh that hath heard the voice of the living God, speaking out of the midst of the fire, as we have and lived? Verse 27. Go thou near and hear all that the Lord our God shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee, and we will hear it and do it. Verse 17. Thou shalt not kill. Verse 18. Neither shalt thou commit adultery. Verse 8. Thou shalt not make any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Verse 13. Go say to them, Get you into your tents again. Verse 31. But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Verse 32. Ye shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. Verse 21. Neither shalt thou desire thy neighbour's wife, neither shalt thou covet thy neighbour's house, his field, or his manservant, or his maidservant, his ox, or his ass, or anything that is thy neighbour's. Verse 22. These words the Lord spake unto all your assembly in the mount out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and of the thick darkness, with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them in 2 tablets of stone, and delivered them unto me. Verse 23. And it came to pass, when ye heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, and ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes, and your elders. Verse 24. And ye said, Behold, the Lord our God hath showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that God doth talk with men, and he liveth. Verse 25. Now therefore why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of the Lord our God any more, then we shall die. Verse 12. Keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. Verse 13. 6 days thou shalt labour and do all thy work. Verse 14. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, or thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and maidservant may rest as well as thou. Verse 15. And remember that thou wast a servant in the land of Egypt, and that the Lord thy God brought thee out thence through a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm. Therefore the Lord thy God commanded thee to keep the Sabbath day. Verse 16. Honour thy father and thy mother, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee, that thy days may be prolonged, and that it may go well with thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Verse 3. The Lord made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. Verse 4. The Lord talked with you face to face in the mount out of the midst of the fire. Verse 5. I stood between the Lord and you at that time, to show you the word of the Lord. For ye were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying. Verse 6. I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. Verse 7. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. Verse 28. And the Lord heard the voice of your words, when ye spake unto me. And the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Verse 29. O that there were such an heart in them, that they would fear me, and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them, and with their children forever. Verse 19. Neither shalt thou steal. Verse 20. Neither shalt thou bear false witness against thy neighbour. Verse 10. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Verse 11. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Verse 1. And Moses called all Israel, and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them, and keep and do them. Verse 2. The Lord our God made a covenant with us in Horeb. Deuteronomy, symbol 4138, chapter 11, verse 32. And ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. Verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Verse 27. a blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day. Verse 17. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest ye perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they may be as frontlets between your eyes. Verse 8. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 9. And that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them and to their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. Verse 30. Are they not on the other side Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the champaign over against Gilgal, besides the plains of Moreh? Verse 31. For ye shall pass over Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it and dwell therein. Verse 21. That your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children, in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Verse 22. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him. Verse 23. Then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness at Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even into the uttermost sea, shall your coast be. Verse 25. There shall no man to be able to stand before you, for your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon, as he hath said unto you. Verse 12. A land which the Lord thy God careth for, the eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. Verse 13. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul. Verse 14. That I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn, and thy wine and thine oil. Verse 15. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, and thou mayest eat and be full. Verse 16. Take heed to yourself, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods, and worship them. Verse 3. And his miracles and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, and to Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. Verse 4. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, and to their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day. Verse 5. And what he did unto you in the wilderness, until ye came into this place. Verse 6. And what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben, how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession in the midst of all Israel. Verse 7. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord, which he did. Verse 28. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods, which ye have not known. Verse 29. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and thou shalt not put blessings upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Verse 19. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Verse 20. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house, and upon thy gates. Verse 10. For the land whither thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed, and waterest it with thy foot, as a garden of herbs. Verse 11. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven. Verse 1. Therefore thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgments, and his commandments always. Verse 2. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm.